Good evening and welcome to the Red Report, the new name for the podcast with myself and the YouTube floozy Anthony Herbert. Thanks for tuning in. This is a summer window podcast. We're going to do a weekly or fortnightly show talking about all what's going on in the transfer window regarding Arsenal, perhaps the other clubs as well, but mainly focusing on Arsenal and what's happening. With these rumours and these signings that we're apparently gonna sign. So the first good news is we've got to speak about today is obviously Miles Lewis-Skelly was I think it was actually yesterday when Charles Watts mentioned it inside Arsenal. He said that Miles Lewis-Skelly is going to sign a new long-term contract, which was music to my ears, Anthony. What do you think about that first? Miles Lewis-Skelly signing, probably going to be a 5 or 6 year deal, apparently.
Good. Do you know what? When I heard that news, I was absolutely pleased. I was over the moon. Listen, like any other Arsenal fan, And as soon as I heard that, I thought to myself, well, there's one bit of good news that's coming out from our club. So, yeah, I'm excited for that. And in all fairness, he deserves it. I mean, let's be honest. What he was absolutely fantastic last season. He was you've got to put him up there. You really had. If you had four, let's say your four best players, or maybe five, I guarantee you he would have been one of those five at least. So, I was happy. And listen, if it's 5 or 6 years, let's hope he actually stays, because sometimes what we tend to find is when these players sign contracts, they like to move a year or two after, don't they? So hopefully he's here to stay, and after that maybe sign another extension after that. I don't know who the manager's going to be by then. When his contract runs out, hopefully, I hope it's not Listen that we've got in charge right now. So that could be another good thing.
Yeah, I'm well pleased, and it goes along with Gabriel Magalhaes also signed a new deal. He signed a new deal a little while ago. That was confirmed. So we're waiting to hear with Saliba. We're waiting to hear about Wanyeri and Saka. Apparently, all got deals on the table. So I mean, I'm excited for that, and I think we should actually concentrate on keeping the best of what we've got first, and then going full steam ahead for the targets. And we've had some targets. There's been some rumours we're going to discuss. Big up to BX Gunner 81. How you doing, sir? So let's touch on the rumours first. The first rumour I wanted to talk about, which I knew was bullshit, was the one I went down a show for a couple of weeks, but the one was Leroy Sané, and I knew that was all bullshit. I gathered that. He wound up going to Galatasaray on the free. And the latest one, another winger, Nico Williams. I thought we might have had a chance of signing Nico Williams, but now we know that he's going to be going to Barcelona. Apparently, Barcelona have come for him, and he reached out to them, or an agent or somebody, and said to him, "Come and get me," basically. And they've took the bait, and he's going to be going to Barcelona. I think they tried to sign him last season, and they couldn't get a deal done. So, what do you think of that deal going through? And did you want him? Did you want Nico Williams?
I'll be honest with you, Lee. I wouldn't have minded Nico Williams, because everybody's saying this other player from, obviously Real Madrid, Rodrigo, and I'm not being funny. You're talking 100 and some odd million there. I mean, we don't really know to the extent of how much money Mikel Arteta's got to spend in this window. We can guess. We could say 200. We could say 300, whatever. But if you go for a player like that, that takes a big wedge out of that sum. So I don't think that we're going to get him, no. But going back to Nico Williams, I wouldn't have minded Nico Williams at the squad on the left-hand side. I mean, obviously, we're pretty poor on the left-hand side. I mean, you look at it with Trossard, there is a rumour going around whether he's actually going to sign a contract extension at the club. And that is just a rumour. There's no solid evidence, concrete evidence in that at all. I felt Martinelli was a little bit poor last season, and he was poor the season before. It looks like to me with Martinelli, he's lost that yard of pace, and the goals as well. He's not his goal ratio has been poor the last couple of seasons. Let's be honest. So having someone like a Nico Williams would have most probably have fitted us, superb at that left hand side, and for the price, I believe is in a region of 52 million. So that would have been a good, a good buy just for out on the left. But I would have been all for that. But I'm just, do you know what, Lee? I'm going to be honest with you. I feel fed up at the minute with Arsenal Football Club. I mean, you look at that first window. Man City, they've signed 5 players within that window. 5 players.
There's a thing going about. Let me just read these comments from AFC Always. Welcome to the chat, AFC Always. Breaking Arsenal sign Brazilian forward Merchandinho. They told us leaving Ivory would make us great again. It's made us a laughing stock. Kroenke's out, then Arteta. Arsenal promoting dog shampoo, dog coats. The club's a joke. I mean, yeah, it's true. I mean, they did tell us that we was going to compete with the big clubs, the Real Madrids and the Bayern Munichs. Beat's going to say, no, like Lookman, if we need something done. He's all right. Didn't he used to play for Everton? Lookman,
yeah, he's the one that he plays for Atalanta over in Serie A now.
Yeah, he was at Everton, wasn't he?
I believe so, yeah. But but he's gone over there. He's done really well. I'm all for that. Lookman. I think what comes with Lookman, I think he's run about his age. I think he's run about 26.
Okay,
somewhere along there. 26,
that's
27.
right. No, I mean, I'm all for that. Getting a player that's ready. Like, the debate over Gyökeres and Sesko, they're saying, but Gyökeres is 26 or 27. Fucking, that's still young. The players don't. He's not in his peak. He's not. He might be at his peak, but players used to peak at that age, and by the time they got to 30, then they was dropping off and they was getting sold on. Arsene Wenger used to give a 1-year contract when you got to 30.
But if he's 27, he's just turned 27. Because he was 20. He's just turned 27 because he was 26 when we was interested in him, and that was going back a few months ago. So he's just recently just turned 27. But then again, I mean, is the asking price of him? I mean, I've read 53 million, 55 million, 65 million. I've even read up to 85 million. So we're not too sure how much he's. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of conflicting reports about it, Anthony.
Yeah.
And a lot of different prices. Apparently, there was a gentleman's agreement with Gyökeres had with the club. They had the gentleman's agreement that they would allow him to leave for a certain amount of money. We don't know how much it is. I'm not sure. But, I mean, they've reneged on that, and he's got the ump. And then there's another problem with the Sesko deal. Leipzig are digging their heels in for more money as well. And apparently this Andre Alberta, he likes to get deals all set up, all deals all at once, and then just right at the last minute pick his man who he wants. So I'm not concerned about the starts of the season. There's people in the chat saying they're concerned there's a tough start to the season. AFC thinks it's going to be over by September. No, I'm not having that. I mean, every single game, apart from the promoted teams, I'd say, that every game is a tough game. Whether it's home or away, every game in the Premier League is a tough. Doesn't matter who we got first. We're away at Old Trafford. Man United were getting smashed to pieces at Old Trafford all last season.
Yeah, they will.
So how is that a
Yeah.
tough? Please, someone tell me. I know we've got to go to Anfield as well. In the third game, I think it is. In between, we're at home to Leeds, but Anfield's game is a dangerous one. Man United away is not a dangerous game. I don't know why people are writing us off already, man. And I know everyone's got the ump for Arteta. It was a poor season. I think he changed the style of play, and he made a terrible mistake. At the start of the season, I've understood why he changed the style of play because of the season before we was running well. We was getting beat. We lost silly games that we shouldn't have lost. He wanted to tighten it up a bit, but all that did is slowing it down and being more possession based instead of being more direct. It gave the oppositions time to sit back in that low block, and which is something that we found it so difficult to break down. We wasn't moving the ball fast enough. And let's welcome Lawrence to the chat. How you doing, to the show? Sorry, how you doing, Lawrence?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry for being late.
No worries, mate. No worries. We were just
right.
talking about some of the rumours, and we was discussing what we were just saying about last season, and people already writing the season off. There's some people in the chat, not only in the chat here, but I've heard other people already because we got a tough start. And I was just saying, every game's a tough game. In that Premier League, every game is a tough game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is, yeah. But in all fairness, I'm going to be honest with you, and I called it. I was on a show. I was on a show last night, and yeah. I'll be honest with you. When I said that, Jez Collins, he totally agreed with me, and I'll be honest with you. You look at the first 6 games, Man United, they're on a rebuild. I can't see Man United being a problem. I think we'll beat Man United. We've got Leeds United after, right? So that's 6 points. I don't think we're going to beat Liverpool. And I'll be honest with you, after Liverpool, I think is Nottingham Forest, if I got that right. I think we'll most probably beat Nottingham Forest, but that'd be a tricky game. So I think we'll scrape that one 2-1, right? And then obviously, with Nottingham Forest, you've got Man City and Liverpool. Newcastle. Yeah. So in all fairness, when you add those up, in those 6 games, that's a maximum of 18 points. What I'm giving you is 3 wins with 9 points. That's half of 18. So in other words,
I can't be as pessimistic as that. I really can't. I don't want to. I understand what you're saying.
I'm judging because we got no one. We haven't signed anybody. So I'm going on for what we've done last season.
We are going to sign players, though, Anthony.
We are going to sign players, but it depends what players we're going to get. That's the problem. We hear all this transfer rumours and gossip. I mean, it's like Zubimendi. Have you seen Zubimendi holding up the shirt?
No, this is what I was going to say before we bring Lawrence in. There's something to do with the financial year with football clubs don't start till the 1st of July. So we're waiting until the 1st of July before we can confirm the deals with players like Zubimendi and Kepa, the goalkeeper from Chelsea. We're waiting until then, and then we're going to. I think we're going to sign either one of them strikers. I'm hoping that we'll get Gyökeres in front of Sesko. A lot of people want Sesko, and then a winger as well. And I think we're going to have a good chance. I know there's doubts about the manager. We've all got doubts about the manager, but I think we're signing them players. We get, say for example, we get the Rodrigo. We've got Zubimendi. We've got a backup keeper, and then we get Gyökeres with Rodrigo on the wing, Zubimendi in the midfield. We're probably going to need another player because Thomas Partey could be leaving for fuck all. He could be going to Barcelona. A video that I did do, if you go back on my channel about 10 days ago, I spoke about that. And, I didn't hear anybody else talking about it at that time, but now it's all out there. So, I mean, what do you think of it so far, Lawrence? I know nothing's happened yet, but the rumours, the links, the bullshit that's going on. Do you think we'll get the players? Do you think we'll get Sesko, Gyökeres? Do you think we'll get someone completely different? Ollie Watkins? You know, Ollie Watkins has been touted. We probably won't get neither of them, and we'll probably wind up with Ollie Watkins. That's what people are saying.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is the 5th day of the second summer transfer window. But at Arsenal, it is Thursday, the 19th of June.
Yeah.
You know, I'm taking all these rumours with a pinch of salt because I've seen this movie before. I've seen it all before. I don't know how it's going to end up. Right? You can call me pessimistic if you want to, but it's just going to be rinse and repeat of last summer. Okay, I can't. You know, I'm tired of hearing these dickheads in our fan base pasting faces of players who we haven't even spoken to yet and putting them on an Arsenal shirt and putting them onto Facebook and Instagram as if we've already signed them. Right, when it's farther from the truth. You know, and I'm just tired, right? And I just hope the whole thing goes belly up. It pays me to say that. But the way this club is being run, you know, and what you just said about the Arsenal waiting until July the 1st. What about Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea and Newcastle? They're not waiting until July the 1st. They've already signed players. They've already strengthened.
Yeah.
I
agree. But I'm just saying what I've heard.
Why do we keep doing this? It's all bullshit. And I'm telling you what's going to happen. We're not getting Gyökeres. We're not going to get Sesko. I doubt very much if we'll get Ollie Watkins. Knowing this clown of a manager, he'll go and bring in another fucking left back. Because that's his attitude. He doesn't want a big name who's got an ego because of what's happening with Gyökeres and his club right now. He won't have him at the club now because he's threatening to go on strike because they won't release him from his contract. You think Arteta's going to go in and sign him because he can't stand players with big egos? Remember Aubameyang?
No. Yeah.
What happened with that?
Guendouzi, Ozil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same crap like last year, right? This club will do bugger all, right? They'll struggle to bring in 2 signings that we don't really need whatsoever. He's going to play players out of position. It's going to be the same shit. I wasn't even excited when the fixtures came out yesterday. I mean, normally I'm up at 1 o'clock in the morning my time because that's the time the fixtures get released, right? I couldn't care less yesterday. You know, I woke up not at my normal time and I looked at the fixtures, right? And I decided I was going to call the taxi firm to pick up Arteta at the end of September because I'm telling you this, we'll be lucky if we get 2 points from those first 6 games. I don't see us winning any of them. If we've got 2 points and Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea and Newcastle are 14, 15 points ahead of us, the league's gone. The league's gone, right? And the only positive I can take out of it is that if that happens, then Arteta's out the door. Because I don't think even the Kroenkes will keep him if we're stuck in the relegation or at bottom of the league. I'm tired of this bullshit. And all, you know, the gossip mongers were starting up, oh, yeah, we've decided we're going to get Sesko. Then the next minute, oh, they haven't even spoken to Sesko yet.
Yeah,
AFTV.
AFTV is a bit much, isn't it? I mean, when I first started doing this channel, I got a little bit of inspiration from, you know, channels like AFTV, Lee Gunner. There's a few others, DT, Troops. You know, they was ex AFTV, weren't they? They was on there. All of them were. And like, if it weren't for AFTV, I don't. They're the pioneers of this.
AFTV when it started up. They opened up a whole new platform for everyone.
Yeah, they did.
Because-
and I mean, you got to credit them for that. And
Because
a lot
before
of
there
a
was
lot of them
nothing
inspired
like
a lot of us.
there was nothing like that on social media,
Mm,
and it
exactly.
opened up. And I liked AFTV when it first started out, but they gradually, what's the word?
They sold their soul, didn't they? They
Yeah.
sold their soul.
The way they treated Claude.
Yeah.
Rest in
There was a
peace.
few that weren't there. There was a few members. There was another guy. I can't remember his name. I think he was an Asian guy.
Yeah,
So-
Mo.
That's it, Mo.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was when they like obviously I seen out obviously rest in peace Claude when he
Yeah.
left. I say it in a way like when he left AFTV and he opened up his own show called In the Bansters, and I'll be honest with you, I was a guest on that show pretty much all the time with me and Claude, Terry and Diesel. So do you know what I mean? And I really like Claude and the stuff what Claude was saying. He knew everything about the game. He knew the history, he knew the players. He literally knew everything, Claude. And and obviously what's happened is sad there. But yeah, I mean, fair play to him. I still miss him from this day. Like obviously used to jumping on his show. But what I want to ask you, Lee. Obviously, what Lawrence just said, what do you think? What's your opinions, your views on what Lawrence just said? Because Lawrence said in the first 2 games, he can see 2 draws. In the first 3 games, sorry. And I said they were wins, 6 points. So I said, win against. So what do you think? That's even less points than what I said. I just want to know what your views is on that.
I don't think we're gonna beat Nottingham Forest or Man City. I
think we'll beat United at Old Trafford.
No,
I'm pretty confident of that because I think they've been very poor. They lost a lot of games at Old Trafford last season. I think home to Leeds, we should beat Leeds at the Emirates, and then I think it'd be then Anfield. Yeah, I don't. We haven't won there for like how many years? 15 years or so. Is it
15 years? 15, something like that.
I don't fancy it, especially if they get Isaac. Apparently, I've heard before coming on air that the Liverpool prepared to break the British transfer record to land Alexander Isaac. I don't think Newcastle will sell him. Let's get that right. But maybe they're going to offer like the 120. I think the record's for Caicedo, wasn't it? Is it what is it 115, something like that?
Yeah.
This is what I've heard, and it was coming from Mark Goldbridge.
Yeah, well, he's a reliable source himself. He's a reliable source. He's one of these dickheads who thinks there's an agenda against Arsenal and Man United over the fixtures.
I mean, I don't care what the fixtures are.
Yeah,
you've got to beat what's in front of you, right?
And
a lot of people say it's a tough start. And see, listen, get these away games out of the way early. I'd rather play Anfield, go to Anfield and play Liverpool early in the season than having to go right at the end of the season and having to beat Liverpool to win the league at Anfield. Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't matter who or when you play them. You play them. You've got to play 19 other teams home and away. It doesn't matter if you play them at the start of the season, in the middle of the season, or at the end of the season. It doesn't matter. And all these melts in our fan base are having a meltdown because they think there's an agenda against us. Because the Premier League
with a fixture list.
Yeah.
For fuck's
I've
sake.
been online. All these plastic deluded AKB ostriches having a meltdown saying there's a conspiracy against Arsenal because of who we've got in the opening weeks of the season.
No, it's ridiculous. I mean, I'm not having that.
It's just nonsense.
Yeah.
I hate to be pessimistic, and it pains me to say this, but against Leeds United, they'll be up for it because they're back in the Premier League.
Yeah. I understand that, but
you know,
we
and
should be.
I think we'll scrape a point against them. Nottingham Forest, after what they did last season, I think we'll get a point out of that game. Man City will rip us a new one, as will Liverpool and Newcastle. And I hate to say it, Man United first game of the season, they're going to have that opening day game bounce.
Yeah, well, but so could we.
You know, and I don't want that to happen, but it will. It's going to happen, right? And I hope it does, because then it'll be the nail in Arteta's coffin.
Do you know what, Lawrence? What it depends on, right? And we can't really. Well, you can obviously, because it's up to you. But until we know what team we've got, then we can actually say, "Oh, they're going to do us." They're, you know, "Oh, we're going to do it," or "We're going to win this." But we don't know for sure what's going to happen yet. You're probably right. Listen, you could, you know, we might not sign a superstar. We know we need to spend a lot of money and basically we build the attack of this team. We do. We know we've got Saka on the right, but we've got no one really to back him up. The left-hand side with Martinelli was poor this season. Trossard, is he? I don't know. Odegaard is not the guy for me anymore. And the strike Havertz, no. Jesus, no. You know, we've basically got to rebuild that tech. And until we know what we're getting, I mean, I can't be so sure that we're going to have a poor start. You never know. You never know. And you know what? The week before the start of the season, that's when I think I'll take myself. Oh shit, we've got no chance. We know that Liverpool have signed a lot of players. If they get Isaac as well, you know, I mean, Man City are signing players. How the fuck are they signing players? Even all these charges. What's going on with the charges? That's something else.
No,
You know,
I don't think there is no. I don't think there is no charges. I don't think what they're doing. If you notice, they're spending Man City are spending average between 35 to 55 million pounds on a player, and if there is charges against them, right? You got to think all these other players are leaving now because they're getting older. Kevin De Bruyne's gone; he's gone to Napoli. You got your Bernardo Silva's is 30. You know, your John Stones is coming up to 30 now. So when they get to that another season, or two, they're going to have to start replacing certain players around. But by then, the players they've got in now will be substantial of a winning team. So this is where Pep said is screwed on because they're always building up.
Absolutely. And I know everyone's feeling down in the dumps about it because of obviously we haven't got anybody over the line yet. We haven't, no one's, even though apparently it's an here we go with Zubimendi. It's Fabrizio Romano himself has said it's an here we go. When he says that, normally you can put your life on it.
I wouldn't believe that clown if his tongue came notified.
Who? Fabrizio Romano?
Yeah.
It would be on Sky Sports News now. Like over here, obviously, Lawrence, as you know, we got Sky Sports News over here. We haven't seen anything.
The only time I believe a player's signed for us is when I see a picture of that player standing in the middle of Arteta and Berta. He's signing his contract and he's holding up a shirt with his name on the back of it. That's when I believe they've signed for us. None of this shit that's posted online or shown on Sky Sports means absolutely nothing to me.
Listen, I can understand your pessimism and you know how you feel. You know, you feel like you've been beat up. Like it's been stamped on, and all your hope and all everything. You know, it's been stamped all over because of what's gone on in the past. Absolutely. But let's just run through a few comments before AFC tells me off. We will draw at Man United, beat Leeds, Man City, lose Newcastle, and lose Forest. Newcastle loss and Forest draw.
That's only 5 points.
Well, Claude does deserve a statue. It does in this industry anyway.
I know. Well, what I was going to say about Claude, right, is after the way that AFTV treated him, they now have this football tournament I mean, they say it's in his honour and they named the tournament after him. I think that's the biggest load of bullshit ever. After the way they kicked him to the curb because of that incident, right? And then they have the audacity to name a football tournament after him.
Yeah.
Trying to make themselves look good, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think that's in bad taste, to be fair. The way and also there was who used to talk. Lee Gunner used to talk about it. I think it was Lee Gunner. Anyway, I'm not. Maybe it wasn't him, but my memories of it. It was someone anyway, and they used to say that he used to like there was no contact. I thought like they effed him off, and then that was it. Like tried the ring. Like they was friends outside of the channel. They was absolutely cutting dead, sent him to Coventry, basically. Absolutely, it was a disgrace. If that was true.
And what he said wasn't even offensive.
No, he said something about the DVDs. Let's not in case I get in trouble.
Yeah, and yet that dickhead Julian is still on the channel.
When he said something about the flag.
Yeah.
The other guy was wearing. I saw that as well. And he wasn't even on Robbie's channel. He was on his own channel, the Man United fan.
And you know why he's still on that channel? Because he's funding AFTV and he's linking Robbie up with people on the A list because he knows a lot of people on the A list.
Yeah.
That's why he's still on the channel.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Why ain't he got the balls to kick him off then?
Yeah.
No,
and then there's that.
It's all about that, isn't it? It's that.
And then there's that bird who appears on that other channel who supports Tottenham. Abby. She's not on there now because she made of some tweets she did a few years ago, so that appeared to sound racist.
Oh gosh.
Oh, I didn't know.
It has gone. The woke side of things has gone a bit too far, and even in Parliament, you know, let's not get political, but I'm just saying, even in Parliament, I mean, anyway.
It's a good-looking bird, you know.
Claude always spoke highly of Anders Limpar.
Yeah, he did, but that was actually it was actually Terry that spoke highly of Anders Limpar. That was on the show, that co-hosted the show with Claude, because he showed me the picture. Terry had his picture taken with Anders Limpar.
Oh, okay.
When he was young, he was one of the people. Did you know when they got the young kids and he walked the young kids out onto the stadium, onto the pitch?
Yeah.
He had that opportunity, and he was with Anders Limpar.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Yeah. We didn't beat Man United at Old Trafford last season. Everybody else bloody did, didn't they?
Yeah.
A lot of other teams beat. I was shocked.
We're not winning that game. We're not even going to get a draw out of that game.
I see us winning 2 out of 3, and that's been hopeful. BX Gunner.
And also, you forget that we've got Champions League games as well.
Yeah, he mentioned that earlier in one of his comments that was just up there. BX Gunner, he said about the Champions. He said something by December. No, we could be in trouble, and out of the League Cup, and that's without the Champions League games that we've got as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If teams prepared, it doesn't matter who we play anytime. They are complaining because they know we are not moving as ambitious as we should. Yeah, that's true. We ain't moving as ambitious as we should. I was listening to all the what people was telling me, what journalists and not journalists like Ben Jacobs, the credible ones, Fabrizio himself. David Ornstein, Alex Crook, they was all saying about this financial fair play thing, and you got to wait until after June the 30th, the last day, so beginning of July. All of them were saying it, or something similar, especially about this Zubimendi deal. It might have something to do with Real Sociedad as well. It might have something to do with...
So if clubs have to wait until July the 1st, right? Why is Man City already?
No, exactly. No, I know what you're saying, but I mean, it depends. It stands for financial fair play, and You know how that works because the new the financial year starts again. They might have had enough money in financial fair play to spend that money like early.
Yeah, but I mean, like this, we still haven't had the verdict on those 115 charges.
No, and they're still buying players.
Yeah,
They must be confident. Bobby was just hanging out partying with Mary J. Blige. I wonder how he got that access.
yeah, Julian.
Julian, yeah. Arsenal's ambition in the toilet. It has been for 21 years. You know, a lot of people will agree. I tend to agree with you as well. We haven't showed any ambition since we last won the league. Let's have it right. We haven't, have we?
No. So this is the longest run.
The amount of players, the amount of players. I mean, sometimes I get a bit buzzing because you Rodrigo or this one or that one you're getting linked to. But I mean, over the years, thinking back, you know, some players that we've been linked to. Higuain, there's a few others.
Remember Benzema? We were supposed to be getting him.
Benzema, Higuain, I just mentioned. There's been
Luis Suarez for 40 million and £1.
Yeah, and a pound, wasn't it?
Yeah.
40 million pound.
Julian Draxler, we were linked for like 5 years with. And when you know. So all these tricks that
this is a fact
that live overseas, right? You know, got nothing better to do than to paste a player's face onto an Arsenal shirt.
No, well, I know.
Get a life, you know. I mean, I know that they're out in America. They're out in Africa. They're out in Asia. They've got nothing to do. As soon as we're linked with someone, the first thing they do is they paste that player's face onto an Arsenal shirt before we've even spoken to him. And what they also do is they hear a rumour that the player is flying in to London, and they start tracking the plane that the player is supposedly on, or the car that he's in. These people need to get a life.
They just want the story, didn't they? They want to break the news and get
they want the exclusive.
The scoop. That's it. That's the word I was looking for. The scoop. And this is a fact. AFC always. He always speaks facts. AFC always. Always in the chat. Always speaks facts.
Yeah. Well, according to Robbie, David Seaman played in the Champions League final against Barcelona.
No, it was Jens Lehmann.
I know.
And he got sent off, Jens Lehmann.
Yeah.
Lehmann got sent off, didn't he, in that game?
Yeah.
So
and Robert Perez had to come off.
But Robbie thinks David Seaman was in goal for that game.
No, but who come on for Lehmann? I can't remember. David Seaman, was it? No.
David Seaman left 3 years before that.
Yeah, but he went to City, didn't he?
Yeah.
He went to Man City, and then he retired. And then in the final of the Champions League, Lehmann got sent off. Then he was replaced by Almunia.
Almunia, that's it.
Yeah. And then, because we had to take Robert Perez off to bring a goalkeeper on. Do you know? Because that was Robert Perez's last football match. His last game for Arsenal was that Champions League final.
Yeah, and
I think he went. I think he went to Villarreal or somewhere like that.
Dennis Bergkamp never got onto the pitch.
No.
Yeah. That was 2006, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but according to Robbie, Don Robbie, David Seaman was in goal for that game. He's as bad as Egal and there's another one, Pincus. They know fuck all about the club.
Pincus, I don't know. I've seen Egal.
You go on to Aaron Talks Arsenal, which is another stream I do, and Shane the Gooner.
Yeah.
They've got videos of him, right? You know, he's another Egal. This guy called Pincus. Pincus, he supports every London team. He does videos wearing shirts of other London teams claiming to be a supporter of them.
Yeah.
And he has to go at Arsenal fans to leave Arteta alone.
Yeah, there's a lot of Arsenal fans, but I believe everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I don't think everyone should be arguing over it. You know, I think, everyone thinks looks at the game, watches the game, sees everything in different ways, don't they? I don't think There's a lot of bullying. There's a lot of bullying online with certain YouTubers to others as well.
Yeah.
You know, because they got a difference of opinion, and because certain YouTubers or content creators think they're better than everybody else, they fucking sort of are the very derogatory to others. I don't like that sometimes. I like to
But
pull up.
sometimes these
They got to speak up for
YouTubers,
themselves.
right?
They got to
Yeah,
speak up for themselves.
Some
They
of
got to
these
speak up for
YouTubers
themselves.
are just there
That's what they
for
got to
clicks.
do. Other tubers, you don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't like what somebody's, it's all right to turn around. If I have a go at someone, it don't mean that I'm having a go at them individually. It means I might like the person, but I might not agree with their opinions and what they're
Yes.
saying. Everybody's got a different of opinions. I got different opinions to flip flop over here. I might have different opinions to Lawrence. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like what I said. At the end of the day, it don't matter what you say, whether you're Arteta in or Arteta out. Is these ones on the fence, Lawrence? I fucking do you know what I mean? Like that is the flip floppers. That's the fans I can't work round sort of thing. You know, he'll tell you, right? But what I'm saying is, it's just an opinion. That's all it is. I'm not saying that I'm coming out. Everything that I'm coming out with is right, but it feels right to me. That's what it is. You know.
The ones that piss me off are, like I said, the girls of this world who are just doing it to get clicks. You know, they know nothing about the club. They know nothing about the history. E-Girl thinks that Robin Van Persie was brought up in the Arsenal Academy.
Oh my God! We bought him for final for $2 million.
I don't know over when it. We got him from PSV, was it?
No, final. We got him for final for $2 million. Yeah.
He thinks that he came through the Arsenal Academy system. I can't handle people like that. And as I said, his demeanour when he's doing these streams towards people like Kenny Ken and DJB and Jez, who have been following Arsenal as long as I have.
Of course, he don't show him no respect, does he? Yeah, look at you know, Jez is like, what is he? Like, he's got to be 62 or something like that. You know, in their 60s. Kenny, he goes every game. I know that. I've seen him. But the new bloke, the other bloke you said, DJ, is it
DJB?
DJ, yeah, I've seen him.
Started up his YouTube channel.
I see him. He was guesting on, I don't know what show he was on. Might have been Jez's show.
He got his own.
Or it might have been, what's his name? Potts. What's his name?
Potts, yeah.
Oh, Dan Potts. Yeah.
But
yeah, it might have been on his show. I have seen him on there, and like,
I can take debate, you know, and people having different opinions if they've got an actual point. But when I see people backing this manager, when I can see, and I think we all can see, he's not getting a tune out of the squad. He's not doing the job right. He shouldn't have got the job in the first place because he's got no previous experience. And he's dragging us back to the times when we were shit under Terry Neal in the 80s. Okay. And people are accepting him, you know, saying, give him another chance, give him another season, right? Because he used to play for us. He was a shit player for us when he was hanging on to Cazorla's coattails all the time. He was always injured. Then the only other thing I remember about him is he missed a vital penalty in a game against Fulham. And other than that, he was total pants for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't rate him as a player either, to be honest. I do remember him. I don't remember seeing him play a lot, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know.
Cazorla could be coming back to the club as a coach. Because we've had a coach leave.
Yeah, he's become manager of Parma.
Yeah, he's 29
years old. He's 29 years old.
Wow. He's got a job like Parma. I mean, what are they doing, these people? No experience.
You know, all of Arteta's backroom staff is leaving one by one. Yeah. So something is happening behind the scenes. And I only hope that comes September, October time, we see the back of this clown, because I'm not going through another season of this shit again.
Do you think it could be that the reason why they're not coming to the club, these players?
Yeah,
You know,
I honestly believe that the way this club is being run, players don't want to come here.
could be, you know, could be. You could be right. Isaac is the newest name on that nearly list. Yeah, along with Benzema and
We could have had him for
Higuain.
70 million. A few years ago, we could have
Yeah.
bought him for 70 million.
I know. I
And,
remember.
what this man, this clown of a manager, has got no man management skills whatsoever.
Thank you.
He thinks he's bigger than the club itself. I keep saying this, and people won't listen to me. He thinks this club is under his name. He thinks it's Arteta FC, and this is what these plastics in our fan base think as well. They think that he's the club, and he's not.
But, I mean, I don't think they. I think it's a lot of the young fans as well that are online a lot. A lot of the fans, sort of our sort of age group, between late 40s above. Not a lot of us are online. Not a lot of us know how to. I know loads of Arsenal fans, senior sort of ages, who couldn't even fucking work a phone, let alone a computer to do content creation.
I bet you, if you asked any of these fans,
they're all Arteta out. Every one of them. They don't want
the ones that back him, like the Eagles, the Pinkuses, people like that, all these dickheads who believe that we've got Super Mick Arteta and he knows exactly what we need. I bet you, if you ask them this one question, that I've been following this club since 1968. If you ask them to name every manager at the club since 1968 up to today, they wouldn't be able to name all of them. They'll name Arteta, Wenger, and possibly Unai Emery. But anyone else, they wouldn't have a clue. They would have to go on to Google.
There's no Arsene Wenger, I reckon, because he was the manager.
Arsene Wenger, Unai Emery, Mikel Arteta.
Yeah.
I'm going back to me. It was George Graham that was in charge but then when George Graham was in charge, it was Terry Neal, wasn't it? The other, the one before him. And then don't forget, it was I think Don Howe. Don Howe, and I'm not being funny. I've been at I started following Arsenal since 1980, 84, 85. And I tell you what, Lawrence, you might remember this game. The first game I ever watched on telly was Arsenal versus Liverpool, and we won 3-2. 84, 85. Yeah.
3-1.
Oh, it was 3. I thought it was 3-2. All right, 3-1. And Talbot scored that free kick.
Yeah, he scored 2.
He scored 2. But the goal that stood out for me was the free kick.
Yeah, he did that a few days earlier against Newcastle.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that was the first ever game I watched. Then, obviously, from then I followed Arsenal and that sort of thing. I've always been a fan since then, sort of thing. So, but I followed all the players.
Even you, Anthony, would know that Bertie Mee was manager of the double team in 1971.
1971, yeah. Well, I was 6 weeks old when we won the FA Cup against Man United in '79. I was only 6 weeks old in that game.
I had just turned 20.
Well, was it?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I'll tell you a funny story. Right, the Arsenal fans were behind the tunnel when it was behind the goal. If you remember, right? Yeah. When Alan Sunderland scored that winner, I was right at the front, right, and below was like a gantry for the TV studios, and Dickie Davis. And if anyone remembers Dickie Davis,
with a stripe,
and the moustache,
moustache.
Dickie Davis was standing on that gantry. And the surge of the crowd when Sunderland scored that winner, pushed me almost over the barrier, right? And I almost landed on top of Dickie Davis if it hadn't been for my mate holding onto my leg.
Wow.
Fair play.
Moneypenny
couldn't even name 4
Oh,
Arsenal
yeah.
sponsorship.
Have you seen that clip?
No, who's
Jamie
Moneypenny?
Carragher was testing his
Yeah.
knowledge on Arsenal, and he couldn't name the 4 companies that had their name emblazoned on the Arsenal shirt.
Oh, tell me about it.
And what was the other one? He couldn't remember Tony Adams' goal against Everton in '98 when we won the league.
When
Well, he went on
league,
that.
yeah, bloody
Yeah,
hell.
when he did that, right?
Yeah.
And then he tells Jamie Carragher, I don't remember that because I'm 2 years old. So
Who's Moneypenny?
He's got a phone call, I think. He's got a call.
Who's Moneypenny then?
Hello?
I don't know. Was she in James Bond? Miss Moneypenny.
Yeah, but who's he mean? AFC Always. AFC Always, if you're still there, bro. Moneypenny couldn't even name 4 Arsenal. I don't know what he means by that.
What's
JVC.
that? That was the I think it was a guy that was on there. I think he did Jamie Carragher. If I'm right, Jamie Carragher and Paul Scholes was there, and he was reading out Arsenal, and then obviously it was the sponsorships with Arsenal, which was obviously Emirates, then it was O2, then it was Sega, and the main one, as we always knew, was obviously JVC. So you know, so he couldn't hardly name any of them at all.
Well, Moneypenny is the fan who represents Arsenal.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's the one. I think that's the one that Jamie Redknapp was asking him quiz questions, and he couldn't name all the sponsorship deals that we had.
Is that on Sly Sports? Sly.
Yeah,
Sports.
Sly Sports is whatever it is you call it. Yeah, I think it was one of the debate programs or something like I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't. Why they've got Carragher on there, right? Is a disgrace. Let me tell you.
Well, that's spitting.
Carragher should not be on television. He is a
Yeah.
fucking disgrace. I mean, we all know what he did. We all know what he did.
That little girl, didn't he?
Doing it. He spat at a little girl.
Yeah.
Spat.
Trouble is, though, some people like that in life, Lee, they get all the luck. But if that was the likes of me and you or anybody else that done that, bloody hell, we would have been sent down that road, and we would have stayed down that bloody road.
I'll tell you what,
I mean?
right, nowadays, he would have been, like, I know, it wasn't even that long ago. I don't even know why I'm talking about it nowadays. What was it, 5 years ago, something like
5
that?
years ago, something like that, yeah.
I mean, there's people being put in jail for typing things on Twitter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's common assault. He must have got nicked for. He must have settled it out of court or something. It's common assault. It is the worst.
I'm not being funny. If somebody spat, if it Jamie Carragher or not, if that was you driving in that car and he spat at your daughter, the first thing you want to do is get out, follow him, get out your car, and give him a slap. That'd be the first thing you want to do.
I probably would have wanted to crash into him, like, to smash into him, get him there and then.
But that put your life and your kids' life.
Yeah, but you lose your head, didn't you? Sometimes. I'm just saying that I wouldn't really do that.
Yeah.
We didn't even know who we beat to win the cup double. Sheffield Wednesday.
Sheffield Wednesday.
We all AFC, man. This. I mean, my knowledge ain't great, right? I've abused my brain over the years, the boozing, whatever. Having a good party life over the years. But I still, you know what I mean?
Dodgy haircuts. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
Well, sometimes I forget things. My brain just goes. You know what I mean? But anyway, I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions, couple more. What you think of a couple more links? Rumours. I know we're all fucking fed up with the rumours and the links.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to make is, I don't want to. It doesn't matter if it's if you think it's true or not. The point what I want to ask is if you would like them. these certain players that I'm going to mention, if you would like them at the club, would you take them? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And the first one, there's two, yeah, that I've seen is Morgan Rogers from Aston Villa. But would you
Morgan
take him at
Rogers.
Arsenal?
I most probably would, but listen, if we sign Morgan Rogers, or let's say if I was the manager of Arsenal and I signed Morgan Rogers, he'd be taking Odegaard's position.
Yep, this is what I hope you was going to say. This is what I hoped you was going to say.
Hmm.
In the chat, AFC always, would you take Morgan Rogers? Big X Gunner, if you're still there, bro, would you take Morgan Rogers from Villa? Would you take him at Arsenal? And what would you do? Would you replace Odegaard with him? Because for me, Morgan Rogers had a much, much better season than Odegaard last year. Even though Odegaard was injured, I'm not having the excuse that he must have been still playing with some kind of niggle or some kind of injury. When he come back from injury, he had one good game against Chelsea. And then after that, he was crap the rest of the season. All he kept doing was dropping deep and passing backwards and sideways, slowing down the play, allowing the other opposition teams to get into a low block because the team that we was playing so slow in build-up, it was ridiculous. And then we couldn't break them down. They was blocking into that 5-5-4-1 or 4-4-2 low block, and we could not break them down. And it was to do with a lot of it was to do with the way we built. We were building as a team slow, but also with players dropping too deep. Nobody at ball, no one behind, and I found it very, very difficult to get on board with that. And when people were saying, "Oh, yeah, but everyone plays with a low block," you let the other team have the ball, they come out, try and score, then you hit them fast on the counter attack. That's how you beat a fucking low block. You don't win the ball back, and then build slow again. Give them time to get back into that low block. It ain't. Is it rocket science? Am I talking shit? Anthony, what do you think?
It's not rocket science, but I'm going to be honest with you, Lee, and I'm going to open up here. That word, when I hear that word, low block,
defending deep, yeah.
Fucking
I'm just using the word. I'm just using the word.
Low block. Oh, fuck the low block. I hate that word, low block. If you're going to defend, you defend. That I'd rather have the proper terms. Defend too deep, than low block. I hate that fucking saying, low block. It bothers me.
We won't use it no more.
So
I was just saying that for the viewers.
No, I know what you're saying, but yeah, sometimes teams defend too deep. Maybe is a reason for that. I mean, a team that's going to use a low. All right, you say low block. Fine, we say low block. A team that is going to use a low block is someone like a Leeds United or a Sunderland that's just come up against a Liverpool, a Man City. You know, that's when they use a low block and they try and exploit them on the attack when they've got the opportunity.
Right.
That's what teams do. That normally comes up from the Championship into the Premier League, right? Yeah. Or if you're sort of low down. But when you're attacking like us, we've got a good defence. There's no need for Arsenal to play the fucking low block. There's no need for us to be too defensive.
No.
There's no need of that.
No, but what I'm saying is, Anthony, last season, the reason why a lot of teams play defending deep against Arsenal is because we allowed them to do that. We allowed them time to get back into that deep defensive or low block. We don't like me using low block. I don't know if you heard it.
But what do you do? What have you got to do? If you allow teams, you're playing against a team and they're playing against a low block against you. So what strategy have you got to come up with?
You let them have the ball. You give them the ball. They come out to attack. So they're open, and then you turn the ball over. You win the ball back, and then you hit them quick. You don't then try and build again to give them time. Like Arsenal was winning the ball back in midfield after winning the ball after the attack was coming. It happened a lot against these lower ranked teams. Yeah. And then it was instead of having like going for it and going and attacking quick, like we did the season before. We was building up slow again, sideways, backwards. Odegaard was dropped too deep.
So, what player does that in a game 90% of the time? There's only one player that does it. What?
What player does what?
That play. Do you know what plays when you said instead of countering them, they're passing to the side or they pass behind or whatever when they get the ball. So it's like, thank you.
Odegaard does it. Yeah, he's done it all season.
He slows down the play.
Exactly.
Odegaard.
This is why Zubimendi as well. Zubimendi is good at because he's good at crossfield, like passing the ball, crossfield passes, breaking up the play and putting teams on the attack. For me, Odegaard is finished, and Lawrence is back now.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's
sorry,
all
I
right.
had to take a call.
I just wanted to ask a question. I asked Anthony. There's been rumours linked with players we all know, right? And a lot of it's fucking bullshit. But there's two players I wanted to ask you and Anthony if you would take them if it was true, if you would be happy for them, and who would you play them in front of instead of? And the player I just mentioned was Morgan Rogers from Villa.
Yeah, definitely.
And you would drop for who would you drop for him?
I've got to say Odegaard.
Thank you very much. All three of us have said that.
I hate to say that because I like Odegaard, but after the season he's just had, I don't think he can. I don't think he was the player.
I haven't stopped all season, Lawrence. All season, I've been having a dig at Odegaard. If you watch my videos, all season I've been digging him out, and I can't get my head around him. I can't get my head around him. I don't rate him anymore.
Yeah, he's not.
I only rated him for he had one good season, or maybe two, but I don't. For me, he's not. He's not. Well, the question I want to ask you: would Odegaard he have got into Liverpool's team this season?
No way.
Even at his best, not at all. Would he?
Not a chance. What?
He wouldn't have got into any of Man City's teams.
Soboslai, McAllister.
Yeah, not a chance, mate.
No way.
This is what I'm talking about. He wouldn't have got into there. Why are we setting him for him then?
He's not a leader. Well, he should be captain.
No way, captain. No way. And we've had this, Gabriel or Declan Rice. Either one of them two, I would be happy with.
But that's your captain and your vice captain right there.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever way round. What would you think about that, Lawrence? Captain?
Gabriel. Definitely.
Gabriel, yeah. That's it,
For sure.
And the other player, I know it's ridiculous.
Or Declan Rice.
Yeah, that's what we were saying now over Rice or Gabriel. That's who all three of us have picked the same two players for captain and vice captain.
Yeah.
The next player, I saw that we was linked to. Well, he is, but I just wanted to ask you if you would take him. Was Garnacho? 20 young man.
He's hit and miss.
If it was Garnacho from, go on, Lawrence, go on.
No, I was just saying he'd be like another Martinelli.
For me, if you were talking about Garnacho, a player from 2 seasons ago, I may have said because he was a decent player, decent tidy player when he first joined in. Like when I can recall his first season, his first game, it was like fucking hell, who's this kid? But regarding now, no, I won't. I won't take Garnacho. I would not take him at all.
Yeah. No.
Because he's another reject. He's going to be another reject. It's like Marcus Rashford. People keep talking about Rashford. Why do we want Marcus Rashford? He's soon to be a Man United reject. The fans don't want him. Yeah. The manager doesn't want him. So that's enough to tell you about the player, in my opinion.
He wants to go to Barcelona, didn't
he? You just mentioned something that I was going to mention, but I forgot. I wouldn't be surprised if we went in for Rashford.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't put it past Arteta.
No, please not. I mean, I was screaming for Ollie Watkins in January. I don't even think I really want him. But look, I've seen links with him again as well. Ollie Watkins.
I don't really want. You think
It's
of
gonna
it.
be like settling for something, isn't it? Like
Yeah, it's
You know,
settling for someone.
You know who I'd love to see at the
But how
club?
much is he?
You know who I'd
He's
love to
30
see.
now.
You know who I'd like to see at the club, who I think would be a great asset to us. Johan Wisser from Brentford.
Wisser, yeah, the striker,
I'd have him
yeah.
like a shot. I know.
Yeah, but I don't think he's
Bueno's
capable of
gone to
scoring
Man
20
United.
goals. I don't think he'll score 20 goals though. I
It
want
will
a striker
Saka.
that can score
It will
20
Saka
goals.
giving him the ball.
I want Osherman.
No one wants Osherman.
Yeah,
No
but
one wants Osherman for whatever reason it is. Napoli don't want him back, and there's no team interested in Osherman.
Yeah, Galatasaray want to sign him.
Well, he's been
But
on
can
loan
they
there,
afford
hasn't
him? Can they afford
he?
him though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no one in the Premier League wants him. We will sign another.
I prefer to have Osherman. I prefer to have Osherman. I prefer to have Osherman.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. If Sesko comes to our club, right? I even though I don't want him, but if it actually comes to the stage that we have got to have him, let's say that for a figure of speech, I wouldn't even play Sesko up front. I'd be playing him in Martin Odegaard's position.
Why? He's a striker.
In that attacking role. No, Martin Odegaard's not a striker. I would be playing him in that attacking.
Sesko is.
I know Sesko is, but you can actually play him in that. You can actually play him in that attacking in the middle. I mean, would you rather have Sesko? Would you, if you was to have him, but it was to be in Odegaard's position? Would you take him for Odegaard's position? Because his same stats is Kai Havertz stats, in my opinion. So why not just get him and just like put him in Odegaard's position?
I would have him, and I'll drop Odegaard anyway, and put Wanyeri in Odegaard's position.
Well, yeah. There's another one. Yeah,
you know, Sesko's 6'5", so you're going to want him in the box, surely.
Yeah, but he's going to be attacking. He's going to be up there in the box, isn't he? He's going to be going forward. I don't want him back. I want him forward.
He's another player that drops as well, like Havertz. He's like a false. He drops deep a lot. Sesko.
If we do get Sesko, what position does Havertz play?
This is just saying it now. That guarantee Havertz starts up front against Man United away.
Yeah, he will. He will.
Havertz, you know, we bought him as a replacement, didn't we, for Granit Xhaka? That's if you remember rightly. We bought him he's supposed to be a number 8, and he
I don't know.
He did not cut the mustard, did he?
Did you hear?
And it was his fault, Arteta, for moving Havertz back into midfield to make room for Jesus against Villa when we lost the league the last time.
Did you hear that AC Milan want to sign Granit Xhaka?
Yes, I did. I did hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll take him back at Arsenal. I know you threw the armband.
It's 50-50 on that.
I'm sorry. I don't want anyone who disrespects the Arsenal shirt the way you do.
Oh, no, it was the armband, wasn't it? But look at the season he had before he left.
He threw his shirt off as he was heading down the tunnel.
He threw the armband off as well.
Yeah.
As he
It
was
doesn't
walking off the
matter if
pitch.
it's the armband. You don't do that. You don't tell your own fans to fuck off.
No, he was going like that and all, wasn't he?
Yeah.
What? Cupping his.
He's taking the crowd to give him stick. I don't want anyone like that. I mean, you look at the games that he's cost us during his time at the club before he turned it on in that last season for us.
That last season was the best football he ever played for us. Yeah,
all the times he cost us games because of his discipline problem.
Yeah, that's true.
So what more players have you got there, Lee? Like, just throw a couple out. Come on, let's have it. Let's throw a couple out.
What? Anthony Gordon.
Maybe.
Yes, I would.
I forgot what I was going to say. I just wanted to say something about what Lawrence said about Wissa, and you said no. I would take Wissa at Arsenal. I just wanted to reply to that because it's just come back to me. Because you know what? See with Wissa, see when he had Mbuamu feeding him at Brentford. I think that was fantastic, and I think Saka will do a great job at feeding Wissa.
Yeah, I'll tell you something now. They're all going to leave because we know that Thomas Frank has gone to Tottenham. So all the good players at Brentford, everybody, even top teams, are going to nitpick at these players trying to get them out of Brentford.
Mbuamu's going apparently United. I can't remember. There's another player. What is his name? Damsgaard. Damsgaard might be leaving. Is it Damsgaard?
Damsgaard.
There's another player. I think I don't know nothing about Wissa yet, but Damsgaard. There's a few players I've heard, but Mbuamu apparently he's going to.
There's a report I saw online that even though that we need a striker and a left winger, Arsenal's main priority or Arteta's main priority is signing Nathan Phillips, who's a defender from Brentford.
Nathan Phillips. Oh my God, I've heard another defender as well.
What's he then, Lawrence? Is he?
He's a defender.
Yeah, but what side is he? Left. I thought, yeah. So that'd be him in Skelly. So where does this go? Why did we sign Calafiore? I've never known a guy made of glass and is so brittle. Seriously, why?
Yeah.
We're signing to play at left back, yeah? That was the idea.
He's not a left back, he's a central defender.
Centre half, left-footed centre half, I know, yeah. But apparently they're signing to play at left back because of...
we'll be the only team that plays with 11 left backs.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, I know Tierney's left now, but Zinchenko ain't gone nowhere yet. He's going to be going, obviously.
Exactly.
We've used midfielders at left back while we had Tierney on the bench.
Yeah,
which made no sense.
Why did we get rid of Tommy Yasu? Why didn't we get rid of him?
Because no one's going to buy him. We'll have to cancel his contract.
We can still sell him. I'm not being funny. He cost us what, 20 million? Yeah. Why can't we sell him even if we get something like 14 million for him? Let's see that for a figure.
Fucking legs still in plaster, probably.
Well, I know he's injured and that, but when he comes back, just get him off the fucking wage book. Get him gone.
Cancel his contract, mate. Cancel his contract and get him off the wage bill. Just look, they've done that to Aubameyang, mate. They didn't get cancel his contract.
Yeah.
Didn't they? And then he went to Barcelona. Barcelona earned what, 25 million selling him to Chelsea, something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That went well for him, didn't it?
I don't know if this is true, but do you remember the left back Tavares that we loaned at Forest that time?
Yeah.
Apparently, is he out on loan? And if so, is he still on our books?
I think we sold him. I think he's gone somewhere.
I think he's still on our books. Yeah.
He's still on our books. How about
one of them two players
up for sale.
The Conga. That's what I'm thinking.
Sammy
Conga's up for sale.
Yeah. Conga's up for sale.
Yeah.
Exactly. So these are players. I mean, you look at that now. On the right hand side, we loaned Reece Nelson out to Fulham, right? We turned down at the beginning part of the season. We turned down £25 million from West Ham for him, Reece Nelson, and he's come from the youth. So that would have been. So instead of sending him out on loan to Fulham, why didn't we sell him to West Ham? We made a £25 million profit there. He come up from the ranks. So why couldn't we have sold him? Then we could have got somebody decent, like, in the January bloody transfer window we just gone. Mikel Arteta has 60 million to spend in that January transfer window. He didn't spend a penny of it.
And you've got to remember as well. And you've got to remember as well that Fabio Vieira's coming back after their Club World Cup.
That's right. Yeah.
I watched him play the other day against Palmeiras, and he was dog shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was he? 35 million?
Yeah. And to think
Yeah.
we could have got Yuri Tillerman from Leicester on a free transfer, and he wanted to come to Arsenal.
Yeah.
It'd be perfect for us.
He would have been perfect for us.
What does this clown do? Oh no, I'm going to throw 35 million down the drain and bring in this dwarf from Portugal who falls down every time he touches the ball.
Yeah. And then we wasted all that bloody, because we was after DMs then. Do you remember the January transfer window before that, the season before? We wasted the whole fucking January transfer window trying to get fucking Douglas Luiz from Villa.
Yeah, and he ended up with Juventus.
And he's like, well, why have we wasted the whole transfer window just trying to get one player? Surely you've got a backup plan.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, likewise with what's his name? Buendia. Remember we were dead certs to sign him.
Yeah.
And Aston Villa came in with a last minute bid. And he went on them instead when it was certain that he was going to sign for us.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's the same thing's going to happen this transfer window. People think that Arteta's going to bring in 6-7 signings on July the 1st. I'm telling you, anyone who believes that, right, give me your phone number because I know someone who wants to sell you Tower Bridge.
Yeah. It's rubbish, Lawrence. It's rubbish. It's absolutely rubbish. But all these players that's linked, we're not going to get 95% of these players.
I know.
I believe we might get Zubamendi, but at the minute, where is he? Right? And then, he's hearing it now. Nico Williams.
Don't be surprised if Real Madrid come in again for him. Make a last minute bid for him.
What, Zubamendi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I reckon. I reckon that.
But so then we'll be without a defensive midfielder completely, because he's supposed to be the replacement for Thomas Partey.
He is. Thomas Partey's leaving now, isn't he?
Yeah. So, and everyone said, "Oh, he's going to stay." Well, look what's happening.
Yeah. Do you feel that he's got to change the formation? I mean, personally, I think he I think I'm not keen on the 4-3-3. I'd rather play the 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that?
Yeah, exactly. I'm tired of seeing us play this way, where with the goalkeeper who's in the left back position.
Yeah.
And then he lays the ball off to one of the defenders, and then they spend 5 minutes passing the ball along the back line before they decide to bring it forward. I don't want to see that no more. I don't want to see it playing triangles on the edge of the opponent's box instead of slinging the ball straight in.
Yeah. Yeah. But this is what I said. It's like with the 4-2-3-1, you got our goalkeeper, Rea, play the original back four that we've got, then you've got Rice. But I want Zubamendi in with Rice. You know, I think Nico Williams would be better if we got Nico Williams and played him out on the left, Saka out on the right, in the middle. Now I'm worried because I'd rather have Odegaard on the bench and then buy a decent striker up front. I'm not being funny. I personally think we need about. I'll be honest with you. I think we need 6 different players in attack. That's two players out on the left, 1 in the middle, and 2 strikers. That's 5. We need a backup for Saka, a decent one. That's 6 players automatically right there. You know? And then we got Zubamendi coming in. That'd be 7 players. You've got Marino who could be DM, but you need another DM. Yeah. So that's like 7, 8 players there.
Yeah.
With your backup goalkeeper as well. So you're talking about 8 or 9 players.
We don't know what's happening with Kepa. I thought he had signed for us. What's happened to that?
It all goes quiet. Yeah.
Well, let's hope anyway. Let's hope by next week that we'll have some of these deals done and dusted, and we can talk, have an happier.
I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah.
No.
But actually, next week you wouldn't even be. What's next week? What's the date today?
Today's the 19th.
19th today.
So next week it still won't be the end of June. So it might not even happen. But according to what I've heard, you might not even see anything by next week. But you never know. But hopefully, I'll be on next week anyway.
Get ready for the "I told you so." I told you so speech when the transfer window closes. When we've struggled.
We're gonna do like the last 2 hours deadline day. So that'd be interesting, and we can see what happens. You can say it then if you want. But we will be doing the last 2 hours of deadline day like we done last
year, didn't we?
Hey?
We did. Didn't we do that? Me and you did that last season, didn't we?
Yeah, we done that last year as well. Yeah,
Oh.
but we'll do it again this year. See what happens. But listen, let's wrap this up now. I will be back next week. If you two are welcome, if you want. I want to keep this as a weekly show. I know I said I'd do it fortnightly, but I think I need to put some content on the channel. So I'm gonna do a weekly show. I'm not gonna do like a lot of them do an Arsenal daily, and it's the same fucking content over and over again. Hopefully, we'll have something new to talk about next week, and maybe get another guest on who was supposed to come on tonight. He hasn't contacted me.
Yeah.
He hasn't said he wasn't coming on, but anyway, we'll see what happens next week. You too, if you're welcome to come back if you want. But
yeah, I'll come on. I'll come on. 50 quid for me and $50 for Lawrence.
No, by the way, listen, I wish I had the money, mate. It's not monetized yet.
I'm joking, Lee.
I'm only what am I away? I think I'm 13 subscribers away from hitting the 1,000. So if anyone ain't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Costs you nothing. Stick a like on the video for me as well, because that helps. I'm about 13 away from reaching the first goal, but then I don't know what's happening with the watch hours, because you need
I think they might do down, don't they?
watch hours as well.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. How many subs did you buy?
I didn't buy any subs, man.
Fucking liar. You did.
I don't buy subs.
I didn't know you had 987 relatives.
Yeah, I've probably got more. I've probably got more than that. I mean, some of the family parties, blimey. There's relatives I didn't even know I had.
Yeah, he's got love. He's got love children, Lawrence. It's because all the women think he looks like Jason Statham.
Let me be honest with you, right? Do you know? Let me be honest with you. I reckon I can count the family and friends like on. That's about as many as I've got that care. You know what I mean? Your friends and family don't care that you do YouTube. They don't care that you've got a channel. They don't subscribe to you. They don't give a shit. They think, oh, all right, so what? Do you know what I mean? There's probably about 10 of them that are friends and family that are my subs out of all of them. I swear to God.
Yeah. Well, I know about 15. I know about 15 people that can subscribe to you by the end of the week.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, tell them to do it then.
Come on then. Show me the colour of the money.
I'm not paying you. All right. Thanks a lot, Lawrence. Appreciate it as always, mate. Yeah. If you're welcome on any time, I'll send you the link, and if you come on, you're welcome. It's up to you.
Sorry
mate.
for being late today, but it's a bit hectic for me. I'm doing like 20 things at once.
Listen, no worries.
I apologise for the phone ringing while during the stream.
Ah, man, come on, mate.
That's same. Do you know what, Lauren? It's good to have you on, because it's nice to have another person to come on and get another person's point of view across of this. Well, I see the football club that we love and that we support. You know, I think we all agree that we're not keen on the manager. I'm not 100% about this one. But yeah, that's
the right way.
I'm pointing that way. It's you. Yeah, you're this way.
Yeah, I'm not. You got to point the other way.
No. It's that way. I'm pointing to you now.
No, he's
No,
on
you're
the
not. You're
left
pointing
side.
away from me.
You've got to point to the right.
I've got to point to. Well, if I point to the right, it goes that way.
Yeah.
I've got to point that way in.
No, you're pointing that outwards. You're
I'm
pointing
pointing at you,
outwards.
flip flop.
Take a look at the stream afterwards, and you'll see what we're talking about.
Yeah, go right to the end of it, then you'll know what we're talking about. Yeah.
All right then.
All right.
This way, that
Thanks,
way.
guys. Thanks, everybody in the chat. Bless you all. God bless everyone, and I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, ta-da.